Imagine walking into a church. The room goes dark, the lights rise, the music swells. The singers are incredible. The musicians haven't missed a note. Thousands of voices fill the room. Everything looks perfect. But here's the uncomfortable question. Is God the audience, or are we? Because worship can sound beautiful and still completely miss the point. Jesus once described the kind of worship the Father actually seeks. He said, "The true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth." Notice what Jesus didn't mention. The size of the building, the style of music, the lighting, the stage, whether the song was traditional or contemporary. He went directly to something much deeper, the heart. And Scripture gives us a frightening reminder that people can sing words about God while their hearts remain far from Him. Jesus said, "These people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." That's the danger. We can know every lyric, raise our hands at exactly the right moment, feel chills when the music reaches its climax, and still never truly worship. Because emotion isn't automatically worship, music isn't automatically worship, and a powerful experience isn't automatically the presence of God. But hear me carefully. This isn't an attack on excellence. Beautiful music isn't the enemy. Lights aren't the enemy. Instruments aren't the enemy. Technology isn't the enemy. Giving God our very best can itself be an act of honor. The problem begins when the tools that were meant to point toward Jesus become the thing everyone came to see, when worship leaders become celebrities, when applause becomes more important than surrender. When we judge a worship service by whether we enjoyed it, instead of whether God was glorified. At that point, we need to ask ourselves, who is this really for? The Bible presents worship as something much greater than music. Romans says, "Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service." True worship doesn't end when the last song finishes. It walks out the church doors with us. It follows us home. It enters our marriages, our conversations, our decisions, our private lives. Worship is not merely something we sing. Worship is a life surrendered to God. And maybe that's what some of us need to rediscover. Not a better concert, not a louder chorus, not another emotional moment. Jesus. Just Jesus. Because in heaven, worship isn't centered on the worshiper. It's centered on the one on the throne. Revelation describes heaven crying, "You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power." He is worthy. That is worship. So sing beautifully, play skillfully, create with excellence, turn on the lights, fill the room with music. But through all of it, make sure everyone knows exactly who the celebration is for. Not the singer, not the band, not the preacher, not the audience, Jesus Christ. And perhaps before our next worship service begins, every one of us should quietly pray, "Lord, remove anything in me that wants to be seen, and help me see you." Because worship was never supposed to make much of us. Worship makes much of Him.